One stormy evening, two boys were watching an edited-for-television version of Lethal Weapon.
F you! I'm jumping! Do you really want to jump?
When one of their fathers entered the room and declared the program to be mind poison. Seemingly overnight, those boys became men, their minds filled with poison from endless hours of entertainment consumption. With no available outlet for release and therapy being rather costly due to high-deductible insurance policies, they decided to start a podcast instead. That podcast is Mind Poison. Hello, everybody out there in television land. That's not how you get us. You listen to us on podcast applications. And a big shout out to Deuce LaRousse, who's out there somewhere listening, and it gives me a rager just knowing that. Hey, Jesse, what's going on?
Oh, not too much. Not too much. I don't know. People maybe could get us on TV. Maybe there's some sort of Google Play app that you can get through your smart TV. We could be on TV on a technicality.
How exciting would that be?
Oh, it's always been my number one dream to be a TV star.
Yeah, well, we can start recording this and just throw it up on YouTube. I actually do know that a lot of people watch full-on podcasts just on YouTube on their TVs.
No, I don't want any of this YouTube shit. I want like a multi-camera sets. I want my own, makeup team to make me look even prettier than I already am.
We can afford that with all the advertising money rolling in.
Yeah. Well, you got to spend money to make money, man.
There's no limit to the money coming in right now. Literally no limit.
I think you have an extra word there.
Limit?
Oh, you got me.
Hello. How's your week? What's going on back in M-Town?
Oh, not a lot. It's real fucking hot again. There we go.
Yeah.
Talk about the weather. We made it almost 2 minutes this time without mentioning the weather.
We'll keep it short. The world is burning and there's no let up in sight.
Yeah, so it's real sticky. But over the weekend, it was actually quite lovely. So did a lot of good outdoor stuff. We were talking about maybe going to a movie, and I said to myself, I bitch all the time about how there's no good days here.
Yeah.
And when one comes up, I'm like, I really should go do something. So yeah, I took a nice little bike ride around town. Went to a brewery, got some food.
That sounds like a good one.
Yeah. So it was pretty nice. It was definitely the fullest belly I've ever had riding a bike before. That we went out to eat and then ate way too much, and then we're just like, okay, let's go. So I was in a little pain from that.
At least you can say you didn't have the meat sweats because you don't eat meat.
Is that a thing?
The meat sweat. You never heard of the meat sweats?
I've never have heard of the meat sweats.
You fill your belly with barbecue and then you sweat it out for the next 5, 6, 7 hours.
Is that because of the spiciness or just the meatiness, or what's
just the meatiness?
Just the smokiness?
Just the delicious meatiness that is.
Yeah. Well, it's what they say, just gotta love any food that you gotta sweat out.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you? You've been enjoying life in the outdoors.
Enjoying the heat.
I say that like you're living outside right now or something. That's not the case.
I live in a yurt.
Yeah.
Up in the mountains. It's been oppressively hot. Just it doesn't let up. It's just every day is 97, 100.
But
you
know what I'm gonna say?
What?
It's a dry heat.
It is a dry heat.
I thought you'd have that.
It always comes down to the dryness of said heat.
That's a dry heat.
Yeah, the wife had a law school buddy in town, and we ended up going up to the mountains, doing a little hike, up to a mountain lake in Red Feather Lakes. Yeah, sweet little hike, but did a little wading in the water.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then sort of ran from a thunderstorm that formed, and there was lightning all around, and
At one point, we were running down the trail to get back to the car, which was like 2 miles away.
In the lightning storm.
Yeah, it was like kind of following behind us. It ended up not materializing to really get into us, but we were getting the sprinkles, and yeah, you'd look back and there were bolts of lightning hitting all around. It's like, we probably shouldn't be out here.
You kind of make it sound like it was like the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
It was a lot like, have you seen this movie Armageddon? It was kind of like that, except with lightning bolts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Haven't seen Armageddon, but I think I get the gist of it.
You haven't seen Armageddon?
No.
Oh, it's a giant sack of shit. It is one of the worst movies. I remember like watching that in college, and a college girlfriend like loved that movie, just crying while we watched it. And I was like, this is junk. This is as bad as it gets.
Michael Bay made a bad movie?
Oh, Michael Bay.
Man, it's hard to believe.
Should I share my experience as a working on what was that Ben Affleck
Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
I was a solid ass extra in Pearl Harbor.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Good times.
It was a fun experience. They put us in full on makeup for 3 hours. Did full on prosthetics. I was a burn guy. So they did this burn thing where half my face was kind of burnt off and it looked ultra real. And then my arm was all burnt to pieces, but it was only on one side of your body. And it was a kind of a surreal experience. We'd be eating lunch with like 300 extras. And the place looked like a war zone, like everyone had just been shot to bits and everyone's just like quietly eating lunch. It was a real weird scene. But point of the story, at one point, Michael Bay flipped out, cut a scene, and started screaming at all these extras. And because apparently someone walking through the background, way in the back, was smiling with his buddy as they walked through the back of the shot, and he was freaking out on him. And I remember him
happy about that.
I remember him just telling everyone the seriousness of the picture they were making. And of course, it was a giant piece of shit.
I know you'll find this hard to believe, but I did not see Pearl Harbor either. Despite being a huge Bay head.
Oh yeah.
You got any other exciting stories on set? Did he ever come out with little like white powder on his nose they had to clean off or anything like that?
First of all, let me say regarding your lacking viewership of Pearl Harbor, you missed a flaming turd, so you did all right there. No, there was one more story from the PAs who were out in Hawaii with them where they were shooting, I think, the bulk of the project, and they had a walkout. The whole crew walked out on Michael Bay in Hawaii because they were filming a stunt scene where the old Spitfire or whatever fighter planes are coming in over the trees, and one of the stunt pilots clipped a wing and crashed onto the beach. And he was okay, but it was because Bay had been directing him to get closer and closer on each pass. And Michael Bay, quote unquote, said, he was a shitty pilot. That's what he had to say. So the legend of Michael Bay grew from there. And I think everyone in the business and most people outside the business have heard that he's a giant asshole.
Yeah.
And I have had firsthand experience with Bay assholism.
He's a giant asshole that makes money, though.
Yeah, he sold his soul to someone.
That's what matters.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, as long as people love watching indecipherable CGI robots fight each other.
Yeah.
He's got a career.
When Pearl Harbor is your Citizen Kane, you've got an interesting career.
Maybe, when we're running out of ideas here, we'll watch a bunch of Michael Bay movies. Michael Bay movie a week.
Yeah. Michael Bay movie a day keeps the doctor at bay.
Oh.
We're getting off track real fast. This all started with me running from a thunderstorm and comparing it to Armageddon.
Yes, it did. It did. And it sounded like a very harrowing experience.
It was indeed. It was indeed.
Did you like stay behind to stay in the rear to protect your wife, or were you just running out in front of her?
I killed a bear with my bare hands.
Oh,
Yeah,
my goodness.
black bear.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting. You got I first off, I don't believe you. You got black bear up in them parts?
There's black bear up in these parts.
Yeah.
In fact, I was reading a little how to survive a black bear attack.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
You make yourself big. You wave your hands above your head and go, "Whoa, bear."
That could be a one tactic.
Okay.
I do think I've read that before, but this article, have you heard the old you play dead with bears?
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten very conflicting bear advice in my life.
Right. Maybe that's grizzly bears. This article said you fight that bear with whatever you have,
Oh.
including a bone, if you know what I mean.
No, I don't. I don't know what you mean.
You don't know what I mean?
If you got just like a bone sitting around, you're just gonna...
Yeah, if you got maybe an old dog bone or something.
Okay, all right. All right. No, because I've heard that play dead is good for one kind of bear, and make
Yeah.
yourself big and get angry is good for another kind of bear. But if you confuse the two,
You're dead.
that bear will kill you. And I never remember which one's which.
I want to say it's brown bear or grizzly. Those are the same thing that you want to play dead with. I think black bear, you want to make a lot of noise, be big and obnoxious. But I might be wrong, and I might be getting people killed right now.
Yeah, see, that's it. That's it.
Hey.
Like it's hard to remember.
If you know, shoot us a email at mindpoisonpodcast@gmail.com and set us straight.
You're a real Ranger Rick. Let us know.
Yeah.
No, I'm just gonna probably avoid bears.
Yeah.
What I was thinking.
I haven't really had any bear encounters since middle school.
Oh,
I think you know what I mean.
you're really throwing out the references. I don't understand.
At scout camp, actually. So, yeah, no, there's nothing to know what I mean there. There were bears at scout camp. When we were at Mini Point as young kids, that we came across some black bears digging. Usually what they do is they sit and dig in the trash bins.
Wait, you just said there was no story here, and then you go ahead and say there's a story?
I was being ridiculous.
Seems like you're fabricating this fascinating life you had back in Cub Scouts.
You should have seen my life in the 6th grade. It was a real my side of the mountain.
Oh, that's why everyone called you Little Grizzly Adams.
Yeah, oh, that was a great show. I always wanted to get home from church on Sunday mornings to turn on Grizzly Adams. That was an exciting life I led.
I don't know if it's just because I'm really tired, but I'm having a real hard time figuring out if you're telling the truth for anything.
Everyone's having a hard time telling what I'm talking about right now.
You're in this weird area where I'm like, I think maybe. He seems like the kind of guy that was maybe into some Grizzly Adams.
Yeah, there was okay, let's time out. Reality check.
Let's shoot straight.
Grizzly Adams was happening in my house.
It was happening? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I love that shit.
We're riding the Straight Talk Express.
The straight real that was Palin, right?
That was I think that was McCain's bus, but yeah, she was
oh yeah, that's right.
She was hanging on to it at some point.
That was his bus, but I feel like someone got transferred to her.
Well, I mean, everything bad about that campaign got transferred onto her, but
boy, was that the pick of a lifetime for a running mate. Good Lord.
That was the pick of the lifetime for Obama.
Oh, I know. Do you think he would have won it? I think he still would have probably won.
He might have, dude. Like I like him.
McCain.
I don't think I would have voted for him, but I'm like, there's at least you can, I mean, there is the whole issue with him getting caught. That's a real problem, but
here the McCain looks like a saint compared to the modern day GOP.
Mm-hmm.
But he still doesn't line up with a lot of progressive views.
Oh no. But he's a straight talker.
The Straight Talker Express.
I appreciate the straight talk.
You got the modern day Trump administration like making public jokes about when's he gonna die, and this is the world we live in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Real respectful guys.
real sweet treat we got. Yeah.
But straight talk, Grizzly Adams was on, or you loved Grizzly Adams?
Grizzly Adams was on in the Minneapolis market Sunday mornings between the years of, roughly 85 and probably 91 or 2. And there was some Grizzly Adams being enjoyed. And that's probably where I originally got the idea in my head of
Having a beard.
disappearing into the wilderness and having a beard. Yeah.
So you were inspired by was he Grizzly Adams? I assume it was his name.
Yeah, that was his name. Yeah, his name was Grizzly. Yeah.
His name was Steve.
He was Steve Adams, a.k.a. Grizzly Adams.
Well, I thought maybe he had a friend, a grizzly friend, and it was like a tag team.
He must have. I can't remember much of this.
He had to be dicking around with bears in that show, right?
He had a pet bear.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. That's Grizzly.
Who he was also dicking.
Not what I meant.
That is not what you meant.
But so you kind of wanted to go out Grizzly Adams and vanish into the woods, huh?
Yeah, I think from a young age it was appealing to me.
Mm-hmm.
Is that normal?
I mean, was it like I love nature and I want to go there, or more like I want to run away from home?
No, it wasn't really the runaway from home, because even later on in life, I mean, I'm telling you, pretty honestly, I kind of was that the Into the Wild kid long before I had read the book or seen the movie. It was the idea of leaving society was very appealing to me.
From what age are we talking here?
Probably middle school on. I think, honestly, I probably would have at some point, and I always said that it was because I had a really pretty good home life that I didn't.
Yeah.
It would have been too fucked up to do your parents like that.
Yeah. I mean, there are certain things like that are like, could do this thing, but it'd just be really rude to everyone in my life.
Right.
I honestly, though, I mean, good home life or not, you had a pretty sick treehouse, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, that probably had a pretty big thing to do with it. Whenever you wanted to escape to the wild, you just went out to that treehouse.
We were out there almost every night during the summer, especially during our formative teen years.
Well, there you go.
Where there was packs of cigarettes a night smoked in that thing. My dad laughed years later that he was like running the smokers club. Because it'd be like 8 to 10 of us in there every night, just chain smoking cigs all night long.
Yeah, you're not hiding that very well.
No,
I mean
their window wasn't far away. They had to have known we were out there.
Yeah,
he's like, I'm really glad I built you that tree house, so you could smoke and drink in.
I'm really glad.
So my dad at some point when we were in middle school built like this kick-ass treehouse that was like a base treehouse. So underneath was a shed, and up above was like a sleeping area, and kind of cool. And you climbed a ladder. It was under this huge maple tree, and it had a skylight, and it was all screens. I think till the day it was torn down for probably like a good 15 years, it had like the Iron Maiden family trees pinned to the roof of it that I got out of a CD case.
Nice.
Real live one, real dead one. And it was great when we were kids sleeping up there, but the older we got, it really became the friend clubhouse for whatever could happen.
Well, whatever could happen.
That was a formative treehouse. Looking back on it, I had my first kiss in that treehouse with my neighbor Beaumont G. And we were fucking young. We would sit and play house at like we were in like first grade playing house and making out in the treehouse, and DA would be over, and I'd get a little weird. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't like where this is going.
No, it's going wherever we want it to.
Yeah.
No, but a lot of happened in that treehouse. Fuck, I think it was just completely rotted out. My dad finally tore it down only
that's too bad.
5-6 years ago.
Yeah, it was. I mean, granted, I don't have a real broad range of treehouse experience, but as far as I know, that was one of the better treehouses, one of the best, probably the best treehouse I've ever been in personally.
It was sweet.
That was real nice. Your dad built that, huh?
It was shelter from the storm. Yeah, he built it from his hands up. Just I remember one day. I still have this weird memory. I think I was young. I mean, we had to be like, yeah, first grade, and I was at our neighbor's across the street playing, and I still remember going back, and my dad must have, I don't know, come back from Home Depot or wherever you did, the lumber yard, and the backyard was filled with lumber, and he was laying the base of it the very first, yeah, because he used to build houses in college.
Oh, for real houses.
Yeah, so he had experience and all that, so.
Yeah. I mean, just talk about being a man. Because I know,
Yeah.
sounds like your dad, my stepdad is certainly this way. I've just really just wanted to get in there and just build shit.
Yeah.
Get handy, be a carpenter. Have you ever felt the desire to be like, oh, I should build a bookshelf, or I should, this something in my yard doesn't work. I really need to just build something to fix it. Never have I had that urge.
I feel like I like the ideal of it more than the actual action.
Thinking about it, I could do that.
Yeah. Like my dad made, I don't know, up at the cabin and even at the house, he's got sick furniture that he built, just fine plans, and he did this crazy inlaid coffee table built with this Native American design. It's really intricate. I'm like, that's badass.
Yeah, it's intense, man.
Yeah, and part of me is yeah, I kind of wish I did know how to do that, and I still sort of to this day, I'm like, I should maybe try to learn that before before it's too late.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I mean, yeah, I think there is something freeing and very peaceful about working with your hands, and doing that kind of work that gives you a satisfaction of this tangible finished product. But no, I mean, but I don't know. I have this thing in my life where I feel like I'm pulled in so many directions. I feel like there's so many different things that I want to do. I just wish I had 10 lives to do them all. And maybe we do. I kind of hope that is what we get. but,
Right.
But I do. I feel like, fuck, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. Shit. Sometimes it's hard to be I'm choosing the right one to do,
Yeah, totally. It's hard to find the time to even do one sometimes.
Yeah.
So I totally know what you're saying. Because almost, and the same with any sort of handiwork, but any sort of creative endeavor too. It's not oh, I'm just gonna write a song and then you just sit down and write a great song. It's all shit that takes a ton of practice and a ton of, just failing, really, trying and failing and learning and doing better the next time,
Right.
That even every time someone does something good, there's a whole history of failure behind it. Presumably. Maybe some people get it figured out on their first shot, but
most of the time.
I know here at Mind Poison, we figured it out the first time.
But that's why we're worldwide already. That just doesn't happen to everybody.
Oh, it doesn't. Worldwide, that's
the joke. We're hardly worldwide. We're hardly local, baby.
Well, we're available worldwide.
We're available worldwide. We have a worldwide listener base. It's just not, what you think of when you think worldwide.
Yeah, worldwide, available worldwide. I kind of like that slogan.
Yeah, available worldwide.
Wine Boys Inc. Available worldwide.
Wine Boys Inc. Yeah, I get that whole thing of failure, and when you're trying to do something, especially creative. I think the more creative the endeavor, the tougher it is. I think if you want to go, be in business, you get there's certain levels of business you can obviously hit, but you could go get a master's in business admin and have a very, comfortable life. And you could probably, as long as you're personable and, have a decent amount of intellect, you can do okay. But it's kind of a crapshoot in creative endeavors. I mean, How many musicians do you know who kick fucking ass and they don't make a penny? You know what I
Right.
mean? They don't make a penny, and you hear the shit that's on the radio, the people who are making the money, and it's a joke, by and large. I mean, there's some good indie groups that are doing okay, and they can have a little bungalow, in St. Paul, and they're doing good and they're happy, but it's not like, man, it's like, the ones who are banking it, they're just producing a worthless product.
Well, there's a lot of good bands out there with day jobs. That's for sure. Have good of any creative type.
Here's my whole thing, like the tortured artist shit. It's like in my brain, I know if it was about money for me, and I have those moments where I'm like, God, just go get the money. You know what I mean? I have those moments where I'm like,
you do say that all the time. Show me the money.
Show me the money. But what? I wrote screenplays for years, and I had one made, and I had a few options. I had some win big festivals. What did that get me? Nothing monetarily. Life experience? Sure, yay, boo. I mean, cool. It's all been awesome. And I don't take anything back. And now I'm writing a book, which is another endeavor into unknown territory. But for some reason, I, as a person, am always drawn into these long endeavors that I have no guarantee it's going to pay off for a second.
Mind poison.
Mind poison. I mean, yeah, mind poison. But we're not really doing mind poison for any money. I mean,
wait, what? What?
Yeah. Do we one day hope that there might be a little ad money that we can, put in our pocket? Sure. But we I don't think we are assuming that there's gonna be any fast money in a podcast.
I don't know. I feel a little misled here. When we talked about doing a podcast, I said, "Show me the money."
I just you and I have chosen the artist path. More or less. We supplement our life. You have to supplement your income, but it's a. I don't know if it chooses you or if you chose it. I have no idea. It's a torch. It's a tortured path. It really, I think it is.
It is, but also there's enough enjoyment in it that maybe it's just my perspective, but I feel like it goes back to what you said about people building furniture and having a tangible, here's something I made. I just feel like there's something in that process and having a finished product. I think it's almost like what you put into it. This is a weird analogy, but the World Cup right now, still going on. I haven't watched the last game, so no spoilers, dude.
Yeah, no spoilers.
People will tell me oh, you should just watch some of the games or watch the finals. But it's almost like it's all that stuff that came before it that makes the end product feel more important to you, which I think, I'll go back into it with songwriting, but someone hears, I've got this 3-minute song and there we go. And it was fine. But when the hours and hours that went into that and you hear little tweaks that you made here and there that you really like how that sounds or whatever, it means that much more to you, So I feel like with anything, it's just how much did you put into it is going to affect what you get out of it, if that makes sense. I think there was no thesis to what I said, but
no, but it does. It's a great perspective. And yeah, it's true. It's, I feel like when I was young, I just had this vision. And we talked last week about the accident, and maybe it was soon after my car accident and that fucking near-death experience that we discussed in detail. And I didn't want to freak people out or sound too righteous. That's not what it was about. It's just it's everyone's living their own beautiful life, and mine is just has this weird element inside it, and it is what it is. But I had this moment in my life where I was I have to give. I have to be able to create stuff. And I had this real, dread. I don't know what it came from, of being, growing old and then looking back and saying that I didn't do this path.
Right.
Like I had that from a young age that was like you have to do this because if you don't, one day you're going to want to kill yourself. I mean, it was as plain as that. Like you're going to not be able to live with yourself if you don't follow this path.
Having not tried X.
Having not tried.
There was something, and I don't remember the author who said it, but it always like stuck with me as being real powerful. It's just real simple, but it's like the most painful question in life is what if?
What if?
On its own, the question is just like so simple, but it's also like, damn.
Yeah, it's so profound.
It is. It totally is.
It's so profound, and it, whether you believe this is your one life or you get many or whatever you come in at spiritually or non, the what if, and the whole thing is like, I feel like my journey is still taking place. I still feel like it's actively unfolding. I just have that, and it is for all of us, of course. But I do think of the people like I worked with a ton of professional athletes who, they're the life that they knew it by my age is already over, and then they deal with this whole world of their world's over. It's just depression. Half of them have lost all their money.
Yeah, that's no good.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I just think it all comes down to the individual journey. It's just we're all living our own unique life in our own unique time and everything about it. Yes, similarities are so strong, but everyone's DNA in and of itself is different.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just having our own experience. And you got to appreciate what you're doing no matter what. But I do think if you have a nagging within yourself that tells you there's just something that won't leave you that says I should be doing this, this isn't making me happy, then, whether you listen to that or not, you don't have to, but I think like you will be happier if you do, hopefully.
I wouldn't want to be like trying to give anybody advice, well, just generally speaking, but
Right.
But I wouldn't say, oh, you're not happy in your job, drop everything and do what you love. I mean, you do have to be somewhat realistic in terms of the reality of life. But try it. Try and do something. Like if you have the feeling like you want to, doesn't hurt to try,
You have to give it a try. I mean, and yeah, it's a tough world and it's a tough society, and you can't just tell somebody who, for instance, okay, like we lived in Los Angeles, we had a lot more disposable income there. There were certain things that you need to do to kind of survive there, and now that we're in Colorado, well, it's a little easier, it's a little more flexible, so I'm getting to explore a little more. But it's not easy to say here's the problem. The main thing I see, the thing that happens to people is they get caught up in a certain type of lifestyle, a certain kind of need. So if when you don't have that awareness early on, and most of us don't, not everyone does, you buy, you rent the nicer place, you buy the nicer car. Suddenly you have to keep working to afford that. Therefore, taking a step back unless you declare bankruptcy,
which you don't want,
doesn't really work. So the key to all you out listening there, if you're unsure of what you want to do and you want to keep your options open, just don't buy yourself into a world that one day you might regret, because that is literally how the American system gets you. That's how the world economy gets you. It traps people into a consumerist lifestyle that they may have not fully thought out when they were getting into. Your brain's not fully hardened when you first start making that money, and I want to keep up with this, and so just got the Benz, and I want that, or I want the nice condo. And then one day you go, fuck, dude, I don't want any of this shit. But now I've got a wife, I've got 2 kids.
You're working to maintain.
You're working to maintain, and it's the ultimate trap in this life. So if there's anything you could say to younger listeners out here, even if you think you want that, just don't get over your head. You know, the smartest people in this world don't do that. You know, even if they're making billions, they can maintain a comfortable lifestyle without getting over their head to where they have to, you know, their whole life just becomes supporting that lifestyle.
Yeah. Or you could do what I did and just don't make any money.
Right.
Yeah, that's another good one. Take a low-paying job and don't leave.
Yeah. Well, you know,
That's a good option.
that's not a bad option.
It works.
It's not a bad option.
It works.
It works.
Find something that works. There's the live to work to live, but I've always been in the mind of for work, like find something you can tolerate, and then do what you want to do outside of work. Like that's at least been my sort of technique. And look at me now, everybody.
Look at you now doing a podcast.
Doing a podcast on an old ass computer.
But you know what? It's worthwhile if
It is.
you know, it is worthwhile to me. And
I agree it is worthwhile to you to talk to someone as cool as me every week.
because you're paying me. Yeah. Because you pay me $12 an hour to do this.
That's not true.
Don't tell everyone.
Here we go again, not able to tell if Mark's telling the truth or not.
You're not a truth teller,
I did not find you on Craigslist under, hey, anyone want to do a podcast?
Hey, podcast, $12 an hour.
Podcast buddy. Podcast buddy wanted.
$36 a week. I'll podcast with you.
Uh,
Hey, Deuce, how are we doing?
Speaking of which,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Deuce, user submitted.
yes, I wanted to talk about road trips.
Yes.
I wanted to give a little heads up here. I don't remember anything, so
Jesus.
I'm not gonna have a lot to. I'm not gonna have a lot to add to this.
I've got one that was with you that we could talk about, but we might want to bring it in off the air first.
Okay. No, I think I know what you're talking about.
It was one final road trip with an ex.
Oh, yep.
Do you remember this one?
Not really.
Well, I do, because I had the good fortune to be in the back of that car.
You were in the back of the car.
Yeah, for a 5-hour ride back from Milwaukee to Minneapolis.
How did you end up in the situation where you're not there for the way down, but you were there for the way back?
No, I was there for both.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I rode out with you guys. So we like to do like these weekend trips to Milwaukee for Twins and Brewers games before the Twins had an outdoor stadium because we wanted to experience a little outdoor life. Twins played in the Metrodome. It was real depressing. We went to plenty of games, but I always took the opportunity to go to Milwaukee. They had a new stadium. It was beautiful.
It was real nice stadium.
Yeah, we had done a few of these, and I think this was the last one with this certain girlfriend who, sweet girl, went on the trip. I don't think I knew what was going on, but I think you guys were having trouble.
Yeah, it was on the rocks.
It was sort of coming to the end. And we were on the way back, and I just remember not like vicious fighting or anything, but clear, strong-headed points of view and silence and disagreements. And I remember getting out of the car, you know, and human memory to put it back together, sketchy at best, you know. But I remember the distinct feeling that it was over, and I believe it was over like a day or two later.
Okay.
And you guys lived together.
Yeah,
Didn't you?
We did.
Yeah, so that's not easy when you live with one.
Yeah, it makes it a lot harder. That's for sure. You know, you might hang on to it for a couple extra years.
Well, I had a 17-hour road trip with an ex as it was going down.
Yeah.
Talk about 5 hours. Try 17
Try
hours.
17 hours.
The worst day of my life. Yeah.
Really?
Well, no, not the worst day of my life. Pretty brutal, though. Coming back from San Francisco, visiting a friend in the Bay, going back to L.A., caught in like some crazy weird snowstorms in the Irvine, had to go around. We're like diverted through Bakersfield, stuck for hours. It was fucking nutty. 17-hour day.
Sounds bad. Well, hopefully your car ride with us helped prepare you a little bit.
It did.
Hopefully you had a little awkwardness training.
So you don't remember that car ride?
No, I don't, dude. No, I really.
That's so fucking crazy. I mean, like, not in a weird way towards you, like you should. I just think that's the crazy, weird thing about human memory.
That it's just wiped out.
It's how, like, you could completely not remember that. That's so fascinating to me. Like, my buddy DA, I talk about shit from our past, no recollection. No recollection. I'm just like, dude, we lived these moments. Like, I don't know. It's so interesting to me.
Yeah, I had uncle, very successful man, and his one of his big phrases was, "My mind's a factory, not a warehouse." Bam! Whenever someone would say some shit about, "Oh, you don't remember that?" Just be like, "Yeah, what do you think about that, dude?"
That's pretty good. This is your uncle?
Yeah.
Also the reigning foosball champion of South Dakota.
Speaking of very successful, no, he's successful in his own right, but this is this is a different uncle.
A different level of success.
Uncle.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, and not to trivialize whatever went on, but for me, your experience in that car ride with me and my ex was probably more noteworthy than my ride.
Well, because you felt uncomfortable that I was there.
Yeah, that it was just like, this is not just like, oh, just all of a sudden now we're like this, that this had probably been going on for months, if not years at the time,
Yeah.
Whereas for you, you're just like, oh, how often do I get to be exposed for 5 hours straight to this sort of awkwardness,
More notable, you're right, experience. There you go.
Like, looking back to then, if I was ever in that situation, I'm like, oh, I bet I'd remember it. So sorry for putting you through that.
No, that's true. You were living through the experience, and it certainly extended beyond this trip.
So what about any other road trips besides ones that you went on with me that were weird?
Oh, one of my most memorable road trips was with DA. We were maybe just graduated high school, and we were taking a road trip to the Badlands.
Ooh, the Badlands.
From Minneapolis. And yeah, that is probably my most memorable road trip. We had gotten a bunch of beer from Kenny's and stashed it outside his house behind a fence. And that morning we left and we ran around the corner, and I remember he was grabbing all these cases and bringing them to my minivan.
What kind of beers are we talking here?
Oh, we're talking like 3.2 Miller Lite.
Yes.
And so he's running across the yard. Like, his fence had a little weird middle part where you could crawl through and go into a neighbor's yard, and around the corner it was sort of open into another yard. So he's running these beers across the yard. His neighbor comes out and is like, "What's going on?" Mm-hmm. And he just throws these cases in my '89 Ford Aerostar with green shag carpet. It's the blue and gray one, extended version if you want a real picture. Mm-hmm. And off we went to South Dakota. And I remember listening to Mighty Mighty Bosstones Question the Answers, the CD on fucking repeat. It was like the culmination of our entire lives, sitting behind my treehouse through childhood, chain smoking packs of Marlboro Red cigarettes, talking about life all night. And here we were on the road, and our whole lives were ahead of us. And we just chain smoked and talked about life. I think we both had a new girlfriend relationships at the time. And we saw the Black Hills and went into all these caves. And that was just one of those things that'll never leave my mind, as like one of the greatest moments of my life. And I think he remembers it to this day too.
Well, it's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
That would be it. There's one of those moments where, you're not beaten down by life. Mm-hmm. And it's like, really is just like, here we go. It's the start of our lives.
That's a sweet story. I'm glad you guys had a good time. Did you do anything on, did you like go to Mount Rushmore then? Or
Oh, I think we did it all.
You did all the Badlands has to offer?
I remember on the way back, though, I was probably already annoyed with him for some reason. Something had happened.
Uh-oh. There's trouble in paradise.
He was using the old cigarette lighter, had it pushed in to light a cigarette, and he lit a cigarette and was somehow holding it out, and he burnt a hole in the top of the van roof. And I got so pissed off, I took it from him and threw it out the window. The actual cigarette push lighter. And then,
well, that's another big issue. You complicated your problem there.
And then literally seconds later, he somehow got a penny stuck in the hole where the cigarette lighter went. Not that there was a cigarette lighter anymore anyway. But it was just, it was one of those, so like, yeah, but then of course we were fine.
Yeah.
So that was a good one. So yeah, there were others, but we'll save them for another day.
Yeah.
You know me, I love the road.
You do love the road. You're real road guy.
I always say if everything went to shit in my life, I'd be a truck driver tomorrow.
You just go drive.
I would just drive fucking truck.
Drive toward the horizon.
I'd drive truck. I would chain smoke cigs, and I would probably live 3 years.
Well, it would be a great 3 years. You know.
Or a miserable one. I'm sure it'd be miserable.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
But they'd have your ups and downs.
Yeah, exactly.
Think of all the podcasts you could listen to, though, man.
Oh my God.
As a trucker?
So much you could do. I really do think it'd be quite amazing.
Well, should we get into one of the segments that made us famous? Ask Mind Poison?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, that's been gone for a little week, but for
yeah,
a little week, that's a fucking phrase.
Yeah.
It's been gone for a while, but I was glad to see it make its return.
Yeah, due to popular demand, Ask Mind Poison is back. What demand, you might ask? Well, we're not sure.
Hey, I demanded it. I said, if you want to keep making your $12 an hour.
Yeah. Should see this guy. He terrorizes me.
Gotta talk. We gotta do Ask Mind Poison.
He holds that Bitcoin over my head.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now on to Ask Amy, also known a.k.a. Dear Mind Poison.
It was Ask Mind Poison before, but now it's Dear Mind Poison. That's
Dear Mind Poison. This one's a real doozy.
It is. It is.
Hold on to your
doozy.
seats down there in Ottumwa, Iowa.
Hold on to your butts.
Okay. Dear Mind Poison. There is a 31-year-old woman who has been part of our family since she was a teenager. She and my kids grew up together, and they are still good friends. Her parents are good friends of my wife and me. Oh, this is a man. She is a Phi Beta Kappa and graduated magna cum laude from a good college.
Do you know what that means? I mean, I know, but Phi Beta, what does that mean? I'm Phi Beta Kappa.
That's a sorority.
Oh, great.
And magna cum laude is like high with honors.
It's
club.
real smart, but yeah, is that supposed to, I mean, can anybody just be like, I'm from a real shitty sorority? Who cares?
She has a graduate degree from a very prestigious university. Drop the fucking names of these. I want to hear what you think is prestigious. By an absolutely bizarre twist of fate, okay, I'm a man, first of all. We'll get to this in a minute. I just found out that she has been acting in hardcore pornographic videos for the last year. Distributed by one of what I understand is the biggest production companies in that business.
Huh?
There were 10 pages of her videos when I Googled her stage name. Oh, you by happenstance ran into that? Oh, you Googled it? This wasn't the X videos search page?
You wouldn't believe what absolutely bizarre twist of fate happened.
This guy has a lot of nerve. This guy has a lot of nerve pretending. Oh, my God.
I'm throwing this out there right now. This isn't real.
What?
This is not a real question.
This can't be
not a real question.
This is a joke. This is someone's good joke. Okay. By an absolutely bizarre twist of fate, a.k.a. I was whacking it.
Also, 10 pages doesn't seem like that much.
I am in shock. I am so afraid of her future if her employer or someone else makes the same discovery. Oh, by Googling her? You're right. This is bullshit. This is nonsense. I didn't read it that closely. Okay, what should I do? She's an adult and is free to make her choices. But if someone makes the connection in this internet-fueled world, it will follow her for the rest of her life. I'm afraid she'll lose her job and never be taken seriously as a professional again. I'm afraid for her health and safety. I have not talked to anyone about this. Who, if anybody, should I tell? Should I just shut up and let the chips fall where they may? We all love this girl very much, and I'm heartsick. What is the right thing to do? Worried friend.
Oh, worried friend.
Oh, this guy.
That's
If
tough,
this is
man.
real, this guy is like just one of those prostitute visiting cocksucker Republicans.
that seems
Like
pretty
this
fair.
is
Yeah.
see-through ridiculous shit if it is real.
What is the right thing to do? Rate and subscribe. Go to her page and
Right?
sign
Yeah,
up.
support
dude.
her.
Yeah. Send
Let
some-
her know.
Yeah, she's
See
probably.
if she wants to spice up your home life a little.
Yeah. That's a tough one. I mean, in this internet fueled world, who knows what kind of craziness could happen after that?
That
Dude,
can't be real, right?
no, I don't think it can. By an absolutely bizarre twist of fate.
That's comedy, right? That's gold. That's fucking comedy. By an absolutely bizarre twist of fate, I just found out she's been acting hardcore. I mean, that's gold. That's really a comedian writing this.
Yeah. So that's
That could be Zach Galifianakis, right?
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so should we get into Amy's response here?
Yeah, because I don't know what to say to that.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean,
Amy says
send the links.
that's the whole. Amy's conclusion says send the links with a private email address.
So Amy says, "Hey, worried friend, you should raise your concerns directly to the woman at the heart of this, not with her parents or other people. Let her know exactly what you have become aware of somehow through some bizarre twist of fate.
Bizarre twist of fate.
Voice your opinion and worries and try to do so without judgment. Don't attach too strongly to her reaction, whatever it might be, and then drop it, unless, of course, you think that she is in physical danger.
Oh, what?
I assume there are physical and health risks to what she is doing, but you will have to gauge on your own if these risks merit any attempted intervention from you. Her employment, reputation, and ethical choices regarding this side career of hers are all her, not your business."
Yeah.
So that's,
What side choices is this if it's from one of the biggest production companies in all of porn? As he so says.
well, this is he just assumes this is one of the biggest companies. I mean, how could you know? How could you possibly know a big company like that? That's
Like, if this is real, there has to be a documentary crew at this guy's house by the end of the week. To dissect his life, to meet his wife, to meet his kids. Because if this is real and you somehow think you're getting away with this shit, you got another thing coming.
this is a situation that has happened.
In real life, for sure.
Just like, oh, I know that person,
Yeah.
and that would really, unless it was, even if it, I mean, I guess even if more so if it was someone you knew well, but that could really make it weird.
So, in conclusion, if you, by an absolutely bizarre twist of fate, run into someone you know well on the internet while perusing pornography, keep your mouth shut.
That seems like the good call for me. Yeah, just leave it alone.
Yeah. It's
I
not
mean-
your duty. Amy's right on this one. It's not your duty.
Well, but she says talk to her. I don't even think you do that.
Yeah, you don't need to talk to her. The only time it's your duty is if you absolutely know that this woman or man is cheating on your best friend while doing this. Then it might be your duty to mention something.
Yeah.
There's also a 70% chance there that spouse or, they know about it and they're into some freaky shit.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. They're
I don't
okay
think
with
you
it.
just really sneak that on the DL.
Yeah, if this old man is finding it, I'm sure the dude's friends have probably figured it out at some point.
Oh, baby, you just smell so salty tonight.
Oh man. Yikes.
Yikes, indeed.
Yikes.
All right. Well, Amy sometimes takes your mind to the gutter, and that's what she does best.
Well, that's how you get the hits, man. That's what it's all about, the hits.
Yeah. Here at Mind Poison, we're not afraid to go to the gutter.
I'm a little afraid to go to the gutter.
I'm probably more afraid than you are.
Really? You think so? Oh, I don't like the gutter.
I don't like talking about all that riffraff stuff.
The intercourse?
The intercourse.
Yeah.
I'm a good. I was raised Catholic.
You were.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that doesn't make it easy.
God is watching.
Not being raised Catholic, it's not that easy either. So.
Look at this common ground, Mind Poison, bringing all people together.
Yes, there we go. Hey.
How about it? How about it's time for a rousing game of Do You Give a Shit?
Yeah. Speaking of the hits, were we talking about the hits? I don't think we were.
Yeah, we were talking about.
Okay,
hits.
good. At least as long as we said it in the last 2 minutes, I feel like it counts.
Yeah. All right, here we go. You ready?
I'm
Rapid
ready.
fire.
Do we give a shit?
Thai soccer team rescued from the cave. Do you give a shit?
Yeah, good. I'm glad they were rescued. I do find it fascinating that there's always like these stories that just capture the public's imagination for some reason. This is this year's. The plane went down for no reason and we can't figure it out.
Right.
But good. I mean, it's good they were saved. Bummer that dude died, but
Who died?
one of the guys trying to save him.
Did? I didn't hear that. No?
Yeah. There is one fatality from the cave rescue.
Oh, no. All right. R.I.P.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yes.
Yeah, no, like, what you're saying is exactly true. And in fact, I think just the other fucking day and maybe it was after this just happened, they were still stuck in the cave. But I was like, there hasn't been a good, there's always like a baby in a well when we were growing up.
Oh yeah, people love it when people get trapped.
Yeah, there's always the miners in the cave. There was the Chilean miners.
Oh.
That was kind of the last huge one. There hadn't been a solid trapped in an environment for a while. And this really satisfied the world's jerk-off needs for that. So I do give a shit.
Yes,
Yeah.
You put that together with some kids.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, you get some kids in there.
Mhm.
Cute little kids.
Yeah.
Jokes aside, glad they're all rescued. That's wonderful.
Yes, indeed. Not going into a cave, by the way, ever.
Yeah, stay out of the caves, kids. Stay out.
Yeah, they probably had a good reason for going in.
Unless there's a tour.
No, even if there's a tour.
Even if I'm one for a good cave tour. So
Are you?
Oh, hell yeah. I've been in a bunch of caves.
Oh, look at this guy bragging about his cave experience.
In fact, on one of our road trips, we took 2 caves in. The DA road trip, I think we went to Wind Cave and we went to Jewel Cave.
Call back.
Loving the caves. I think there was a time in my life where I wanted to be a spelunker. That's where you go off into the depths and explore new areas of a cave. I'm really always was a cave nerd.
Really?
Back to I'm not a real nerd. I'm the unacceptable nerd.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, that is entirely unacceptable. I don't know if I want to do the podcast anymore.
I know.
Cave nerd.
I am big into caves and cave exploration.
Yeah, I've never been in a cave.
Oh, God, we
No,
got to get you
no,
there.
No, I'm not going to a fucking cave, dude.
You want to go in a cave? I'll get you in a cave. I'll get you in a cave by 3 p.m.
No, I would. Yeah, nothing. Nope.
All right. Starbucks going straw free. Do you give a shit?
Do not. There should be no shit at a coffee shop that you can drink through a straw in the first place. So, fine.
Wow. Bold.
Bold.
I guess I have to give a shit, right? I'm a liberal.
Do you?
Yeah, liberals give a shit about no straws.
Do
Although,
they?
I live in LA. They weren't giving me plastic bags by the end, and the only thing I thought is, how the fuck am I going to change the bags in my bathrooms? Oh, those plastic bags are wonderful little trash bags for the bathroom.
Try having a cat.
Oh, cleaning out the litter box.
Yeah, that's what the litter box. That's it. Yeah, you want some of those plastic bags. Man. I had to buy separate plastic bags now that no one's giving you plastic bags anymore.
Are they no plastic bags in Minneapolis, St. Paul?
I don't know.
Or are you just refusing them, kind of?
No, it's just you don't end up with them. You know, there's less of them. I think there was going to be a law, but then our wonderful Republican government stepped in and said, no city can make a rule that isn't done by the state or whatever. So,
Well, they've always got the greater good in mind, so.
yeah. But now,
Yeah.
since I don't get bags, I used to clean out my litter box with straws. And now what am I going to do?
Sucking shit out of the litter box.
Oh, man, Starbucks, you're really screwing me over here.
Starbucks.
No, try
Starbucks.
stick to serving coffee, jerks.
Yeah, exactly, you jerk stores. Do you give a shit? Trump pardons the Bundy ranchers who burnt federal lands and then, they kind of pent up in a federal land. Remember that standoff?
Nope.
Oh, God. So they went to Oregon and they kind of took over a federal lands building and had the big standoff for like a month or so.
Oh, was this the one where everyone was sending them dildos?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah. I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, so Trump has pardoned them
Mm-hmm.
in his constant hate of federal everything.
Yeah. I mean, that all checks out. That's throwing a bone to his base. Plus, they probably burnt it because they were burning a cross. So it's all good.
Yeah, it is a little bone to the Trump base. Can't blame him for that.
Yeah. So, but no, I mean, whatever. He's gonna do. He probably did 10 worse things that day.
Yeah,
So.
including bang his daughter. Do you give a shit? Pence looking to overturn Roe versus Wade. Do you give a shit?
Yeah, you kind of have to, right? That's
Yeah.
that's a bad one, but that's what they've wanted forever. So, since evil is winning, I guess it all checks out.
Yeah, for sure. How do you take that back up? That's been decided by the Supreme Court. They just create another law close enough and have that looked at. Is that what they do?
Yeah, I suppose. Or just, I mean, I feel like every time they bring a case to the Supreme Court, really, it's up for discussion.
They're just gonna bring a case close enough to it that fucks it all up.
Yeah, but I hope it's people with cool names.
Yeah.
That'd be really, if it was like Smith versus Jones or something like that. That wouldn't be
Smith
real
versus-
exciting. We need,
Yeah.
if this is gonna be a landmark abortion case, at least have some cool names, you guys.
What was the movie where Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie met? Wasn't that The Smiths?
The Smiths, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Yeah, they were dueling spies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should be an in-house case.
Mm-hmm.
A husband and wife torn against each other.
Are we talking about abortion or Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
I'm talking about the sequel, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. What are you talking about?
I'm trying to see how it tied into because if you're gonna get abortion, that should be a choice that a couple makes.
Well, fuck it. What else do we have?
Nothing.
We got nothing.
Nothing. We got nothing.
Class dismissed.
New slogan. Oh boy.
Anyway, class dismissed. See ya, assholes.
Trying out some new ways to close the show, huh?
Yeah, got any ideas? Hit us up at mppodcast.com to say hello. Or send us an email at mindpoisonpodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget, if you like the show, subscribe and maybe like us, give us a little review, whatever you want to do.
Rate and review.
Rate review, motherfuckers. And tell a friend.
Let Mark know if you like his new angry teacher persona.
Rate review, motherfuckers.
Oh. All right.
And whether you love us or hate us, tell a friend. Bring them on board. Have them send us hate mail. It's all good.
I don't know. Maybe only tell him if you love us.
Yeah, maybe
Hate
don't.
us.
Yeah.
I don't need that in my life right now.
Well,
we
love you.
I'm okay with you.
Class dismissed.
This has been
Hey, mind poison.
Mind poison. I didn't get to say my name. What the fuck?
Tripping on the poison.